I'm in the Florida Keys, and you can too. Hi, I'm Bob Bramblet. This is Fish On.
Made it down to the water, don't wanna be late. We'll pull in nice and slow. Come on, everybody, and grab a fish and pull a fish on. Fish on. I can't wait to get another one on the line. When I set the hook, Lord knows he's mine. Fish on.
Hi guys, this is the Key West version of Fish On. I like to go down to Key West at least once a year for fishing. It's absolutely fantastic snapper fishing down there. And this particular trip I was going for a IGFA Slam. I wanted to find a bonefish, a permit, and a tarpon, maybe a snook. And that's what we're headed down there for. Unfortunately I didn't take Jimmy with me, but Jimmy's here watching the video with me.
I probably would have caught that IGFA Slam if I went.
Yeah, you might have. Beautiful drive over there, by the way. But we met up with a couple of guys down there who were big-time kayak fishermen, and shout out to Randy. And he kind of showed us where to go to look for bonefish and permit. And of course, we were cautioned that it was going to be very hard to find them, and it really was. My son Eric and I spent all morning long looking. We were all in the right areas. We were seeing the right things that we should see for bonefish, and we just weren't seeing them to begin with. Later on, during the evening, or I'm sorry, the morning, we did find some flats that held bonefish and permit. We didn't see any permit, but in these areas, we're finding sharks, lots of snapper, all the way up on the the shallows, mullet. Not really a whole lot of game fish unless you can spot them. They're a lot more wily than snook or anything like that. They see you, they hear you, they're off the flats. It's just that easy. But you see how nice and calm it is there, and it's absolutely beautiful place to go fishing. And of course, it's real nice and calm to be able to stand up and fish and really look for what you're trying to find. Now, in this particular area, we're mainly fishing with live bait. It's going to be very hard to get any of these fish to bite anything else. And at a certain point, I saw some bonefish. And you can see, obviously, you really don't have much time to be able to cast out in front of them before they see you and they take off. It's almost like snook fishing on the beach. When they see you, they're done. And that right there is the only bonefish that I was able to hook up on. I saw him, I was able to get it out in front of him. I did hook up on him, but as Jimmy will tell you, I miss a lot of fish, right?
Yeah, you'll notice that a lot. Probably every video we do.
I can hook the hell out of them, just can't reel them in sometimes. But absolutely beautiful area, and really it's not that the fish weren't there, it's that I'm not used to fishing for those.
It looks pretty similar around here.
Yeah, the water's absolutely crystal clear. But even on the flats, there's a lot of snapper, and that's one thing this time of year down the Keys. We're down there in August. Is the snapper bite is just on everywhere, and this is coming back in. I like to tell people where we're fishing at so they can actually do the same thing. We're actually at Cujo Key at the end of Blimp Road, and right behind me, you can't really see it, but there's a huge blimp, and they use that as an antenna, I guess, for Radio Free Cuba or something like that. But it's just all a beautiful flats area. There's shark out there like you wouldn't believe. And in between all the sharks and whatever else you're not looking for, like mullet, there's just loads of snapper. All you really have to find is anything, a rock. In this particular case, I think there was just a small hole and just loaded with them. And, you see me throwing a lot of them back. There's a lot of keepers. And we were erring on the side of caution. I think on the Gulf side it's 10 inches. On the Atlantic side it's 12. I think we were keeping them at 12 just in case. But there were some even bigger ones than that. I mean, quite quite large, some of them are.
Is that pretty much all you caught on the flats, the snapper, or did you catch anything else? Or did you miss a lot like that?
Well, that wasn't my fault. That was
One of your trick hooks?
yeah, that was one of my trick hooks. It only hooks the big ones. Anyway, yeah, well, there were other opportunities out there. By this time, we're just fishing for the snapper, but there are other opportunities out there. We could have stayed out in the area. It's more tide driven than it is around here. Like for instance, when the tide's coming in, you're going to see more of the bonefish on the particular flats we were on. As the tide is going out, they're going to be a little deeper and a little farther out. At least that's what we were told, and I didn't see anything else to make that, that should be a nice one there. But basically, well, actually, it's a tiny one.
I was going to say, it looks like the bait.
Yeah, we were using really light tackle out there, obviously. A lot of fun, though. I mean, we could have sat there for hours and just kept catching the snapper. But really, it doesn't matter if you're in a kayak, on the bank, on a dock. You're catching snapper all day long down there.
Looks like a nicer one.
Yeah, that's probably about a 11, 12 incher there.
So, are you trying to grab the fish, or?
It's a family show now. And that was the take for that day. And there's some pretty nice size ones. And the smallest one of those is about 12.
This is why we really come down here. We're fishing off the pier down here. We can catch all kinds of snapper, grouper, all kinds of stuff. You don't have to have a boat. Look right over here in our cooler. It's just from a couple hours. Some of these are just as big as the offshore grouper or offshore snapper get. Simple store-bought rig. I make these myself. And valley hook. There's big snapper down there at the bottom. It usually doesn't take that long before they hit. Oh. And he broke my line. That's how big some of these fish get down here. Yeah, he broke it right off. And we drive down here, but you guys can take the Key West Express. Come down here for a day of fishing. Got him.
Oh no!
What was it? Barracuda got it. It was a big snapper.
Did he eat?
Oh well, you don't get them all.
Nice and slow, come on everybody and grab a fish and hold a fish on. Fish on. I can't wait to get another one